Good day, welcome once again to ECOFIN. It's Ishola Adedeji Michael, the team leader of the ECOFIN, and we are live again on financial literacy. This is our first episode on the financial literacy, and we're hoping to get sufficient and enlightening information out there to help individual here to make a more informed and more enlightened financial decisions. Right, the worst scenario that the worst thing that can ever happen to anyone in this life is to face financial struggle in your later years on it. Like, I don't wish it for my enemies, to be sincere, and definitely I don't wish it for myself. So, and I'm not taking myself as an expert on the field, but I believe the little information I have, if I share with you, and if you can take your time and you think on it, I'm very, very sure it will be helpful towards you making a more informed decisions, because you have to take control over your finances, right? You have to take control over your finances. It's high time you stop your habits taking charge of your expenses. It's high time you stop that. You stop that. And the best way to stop that is to first get financial knowledge, right? Get financial, and we're going to start right there today and how we be kicking off the conversation. Don't forget, Ecovin is not a one-man channel. It's not a one-man communication. It's not a one-man broadcast. This is a team channel, all right? You see my face for the second time, all right? No problem. Sooner or later, you're going to see the team members. They are coming with something far, far more juicy than that. Just this, right? All right. This is just, I'm just doing the intro, right? Just the intro. Okay. With that being said, what is financial literacy, right? When you hear about financial literacy, all right, some you a lot of people want to say we're just talking about how do I manage my income, manage my expenses. In fact, some wives doesn't want their husband to go for financial literacy conversation because they feel like once they go there, they stop the rate at which they spend in their house. All right, I've actually had a couple of conversations with respect to that. But your point is, financial literacy is more than just you managing your cash flow. All right, it's more than just you managing your cash flow, managing your income and expenses. Don't forget, don't misunderstand me. Managing your cash flow is an important part of financial literacy, but it's just not everything. Okay, it's not just everything. So financial literacy is you taking conscious decisions about your finances. That is what I'm trying to say, is that financial literacy is you knowing how your decisions, like your decisions, like financial related decisions you make, how they have the potentials to influence or affect or dictate your present financial situations and your long time financial position. That's what financial literacy is all about. And with that being said, I would like to also make us understand that this conversation on financial literacy is not just meant for those who are middle income earners or who are even struggling to even barely make an income right there. All right, the same way not having sufficient money is a financial problem, the same way is having sufficient money is also a financial problem. All right, even when you are Elon Musk, all right, this is actually for you. This is actually for you, because financial literacy is for everybody, all right, including the speaker himself. All right, so with that being said, I will start off by addressing this situation of people living from paycheck to paycheck. All right, and I want to also start by telling you that living from paycheck to paycheck doesn't have to do with your level of income. You could be earning as low as below $100, right, a month, and you won't be living from paycheck to paycheck. And you could be earning as high as $300,000 a month, and you could still be living from paycheck to paycheck, right? While your income is very, very important towards your financial prosperity journey, right? What is much more important is what you do with those income, like decisions you make. And I want to say the first decisions you make towards financial prosperity is number first, you determine what source of income are you in for. You have to first make that decision. What are the source of income you are in for? And you need to understand how this source of incomes must actually automatically influence your what? Your spending culture and your spending habits. All right, take for instance, if you are a writer, if you're a writer, what you do is an author, you write books or something like that, all right? The kind of occupation you are into is such an occupation whereby your income is irregular, and in most cases it comes in lump sum. That is, you can just receive an heavy amount of money to I'm paying you heavy amount of money to write a book on my biography. Yeah, okay, I could pay you and I'm expecting to publish that book maybe not even in 2 years time. So which means you have 2 years to write the book, and I've paid you ahead, right? Now the point there is you, that's the nature of your job. You have much to take towards managing your finances, because you can just blow the whole money in a month or two, and you still have to make sure you write my book. And do you understand? And you are not even giving me the product I'm paying for in 2 years. So you have to understand the nature of the job you are into. This also relates to engineers, they are contractors, and all of that. All right. For those who are just a regular man, you go to work in the morning, you come in the evening, and at the end of the month or at the end of the week, you get paid wages, you get paid salary. All right. If that's what you are, all right, fine. You still have to understand how your source of income influence your financial decisions. You have to understand that you have to merge your source of income to your what, to your habit, right? To your habit. And let me say this: it is not a shame that you sending your sons and daughters to a public school, right? Because as it is, right, we've mostly attributed the idea of sending students to public school to mean that the family is not worthy. No, 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 it doesn't have to do that. It doesn't have to do that. You have to understand that except that sending those kids to the private school will actually make a meaningful difference in their ability, like in their educational standard, then sending them to a private school will be nothing but a waste of money. All right. I think just that I don't want to talk more deep on that now. There'll be a particular sections, all right, where I speak much more on that. But if you have any question with respect to that, maybe you are in school now, you feel offended by what I said, or maybe your kids are in a private school and you spending more than 30% or 40% of your monthly salary to pay for one term of the student in the school, and you really want to know what I know about that, you can get in contact. My contact is always pinned on the comment section, so we can talk about that. But without much verbosity, so let's really talk about what the benefit, not just for those who are paying school fees, but for everyone here. And this is what I have to say to you, everyone here. All right. Your finances, just as I said earlier, it starts first from the source of income that you pick. And the source of income that you pick for a youth, all right, okay, for the youth out there, let me generalize this. Source of income that you pick, you have to make that decisions in your early 20s, I mean before your 20s rather, right? Because you have to decide on the course you want to, right? You have to decide on the course you want to study. You have to decide on the kind of profession you want to be, right? If naturally you want to live in affluence in this present age, the only career path that you can have that luxury, I think, is for you to venture into tech, right? If you're into technology, you can become a billionaire overnight in technology. You can become a billionaire overnight in technology, right? Where I am, I'm into economic and financial analysis, and you can be fine, all right. But if I stand up tomorrow and I become and I'm the richest man in the world, I think EFCC should make some investigation into me, because I no, 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 it's not. I'm not. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong. I'm just telling you that technology, you can literally just create an app that you don't even get to launch, and from that app that you never get to launch, nobody get to use it, you can still be a billionaire, right? Look at what has been happening with the cryptocurrency. Look at the blockchain technology. Look at what is happening with the open AI. Look at what we're having with the DeepSeek from China. That's to tell you that technology, you can be a winner overnight, right? You can be a winner overnight. So if you such a person that you've already looked at your financial ability, look at what you looking up in your life is you want to live an affluence luxury lifestyle. So the one thing you should consider is what is your career should most likely be in technology, right? But it doesn't mean tech is the only one. You have to find the rest for yourself, right? I'm just using tech as a benchmark to that advice. So if you are such a person that you want to purchase, you want to pursue high level of professionality, you want to pursue a level of opportunity, like you don't just want your money to speak for you, you want your relevance to show in the society, then you can pick professional courses like medicine. You can pick professional courses like pharmacy, like doctor, like being an economist like me. You can pick all of that. All right, yeah, you are going to be fine, you're going to have money, but you might not be such a person who can buy Rolls Royce as a birthday gift for your mother-in-law. Do you That's just what that means. So, which means that our journey of financial prosperity starts first from even before we even grow up to an adult. And that's why I will advise any parent out there who is watching this particular episode of financial literacy by the ECOFIN to share this to their young ones, right? You might say your kid is just let's say, how old is he? 10 years, 13 years old, and maybe he doesn't need this. But trust me, their brain is as sharp as you can ever imagine, and this kind of information needs to be in them, right? You don't apply to university and you want to study medicine, and you're giving agricultural science, and because you don't want to take jam next year because you're talking about age, okay, which is also important, though, then you just take agricultural science. You have to understand that your courses, your professions dictate your level of income, which is the first thing to finance. It is the first thing to finance. All right. I'm not saying it out there that if your ambition has always been to be a medical doctor and you end up studying, let's say, psychology, that you cannot make it in life. You can. Definitely you can. You can even make it more than those in tech. But the point is, you have to now started considering the multiple stream of incomes. Right. That's the position you will be now. You have to start considering the multiple stream of income. You have to go to the extra miles. All right. You have to go to the extra mile. Yeah, we talk about that, but for just the basis, let's get it right. Your choice of career influence your income, and that is the beginning of what your financial journey. The first financial decisions you are going to make in your life is the courses you want to study, is the department you want to be, is the professions you want to be. You want to go into business, you want to be selling construction materials, building materials, you want to be selling clothing materials. These decisions dictate your financial prosperity, so you have to make that decisions based on your long-term financial goals. And how do you know your long-term financial goals? All right, the best way you understand your long-term financial goals is you look at your environment, you watch movies. Like sometimes I've seen parents chasing their kids away from televisions. Trust me, exposure is knowledge, right? In fact, education is exposure. Okay, so just like some movies are just a waste of time actually, but when you really watch the real movies, I'm not talking about movies where you the only thing you get there is a romance, emotional relationship stuff. No. Most of 90% of movies on relationship stuff are trash, because if you go into your relationship with that mindset, you're already set for failure, to be sincere. But things you look around the movie, sometimes you look for exposure, like look at exposure, look at people financials, you look like what are things and things. The first time I learned about stock market, it's actually from the movie, and I was less than 15 years old, right? Or less than 15 years old then, right? The first time I get in contact, I get information about politics, it was also still from movies. Right, for those of you who spend time, you watch House of Cards there, yeah, then we are talking on the same page. For those who take your time and watch series like The Billions, then maybe we are on the same page on that. All right, there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of them out there, right? That they are just very enlightening. Naturally, sport movies are actually my favorite. All right, let's not digress to my personal personality. Okay, we're talking about financial literacy, and I'm telling you, the choice of your career is the first thing. Now, after making decision on your career, all right, then you have to understand the cost it takes to attain this career. And in most cases, but when talking about the cost it takes to attain this career, we're not just talking about the school fees you need to pay, or the money you have to pay for certification, because in most cases, maybe you have a sponsor, maybe your parents are there for you. All right, if you don't have those, then the decisions has to come into you. You have to look at the what they call the short time income streams too, so that you can prosper. You can at least you can meet up with your long time career goal. You have to look at short time income stream. But if you have your parent out there looking out for you, you have a sponsor out there looking out for you, that is beautiful, that is good. All right, but it still doesn't mean the whole cost is taken care of. All right, because I as I will always say, all right, time is also your is also part of the concept of financial literacy. So you have to look at how you need to manage your time. For somebody who wants to be an economist, and for somebody who wants to be a medical doctor, right? I want to be an economist, I want to be a financial expert, and you want to be a doctor, right? If I ask more than 10,000 people out there, they will tell you that being a doctor means you have to spend more time reading more than me that want to be a financial expert and economic analyst. but it's actually a lie, because when it comes to being a medical doctor, right, the set of informations are already there. You have the set of books that if you read those books, you're coming out as a medical doctor already. Like the informations are just well organized. Do you understand that? When it comes to you picking a career into finances, you picking a career in economic analysis, right? It's just like a career in data analysis. It's just like somebody wanting to master Excel. Like Excel software is just a software that you can't just know 70% of what Excel can do. You can't just know it. It's one of the most complex software. Like when you see people coding with Excel, you be like, wow, so they can actually code on Excel. And the point is, you only know it up to the level you know it. That's how career in all those fields are. So which means if you really want to be on top of your game, you are such a person that you're trying to actually create a promising career, you have to know that you have to find a way to know how timing, like how time consuming your career demand of you. It's not just for you to be analyzing that for this career you have to be good in mathematics, and for this career you have to be good in English. No, 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 no. You have to know the time it takes. I used to say knowledge is knowledge, right? You can know everything. There's nothing you cannot know. Like there's nothing Mr. Success can know that Mr. Adedeji cannot know. Do you understand that? You just have to know what it takes to know it and be willing to pay the price. So your career, what you choose to be your source of income, is the first integrity, the first financial decisions you are going to make, and it's integral to your financial prosperity. And that is literally what this video is going to be capturing, and that's what I've been talking about. All right, if you are just joining us, it's ECOFIN, and I'm Ishola Adedeji. All right, so what you choose for career, right? One of you out there be like, I've already made my decisions. I've already made my decisions. This is my 10th years working for the government. This is my 15 years working in a private firm. All right. You be like, is there something I can do? Yeah, definitely there's something you can do, right? But before I get to you, I'm still going to focus on those who are just starting their career, especially those who just graduated from the university, those who are just going for their NYC in Nigeria, or those who just finished serving their country all over the world. All right. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is not a question of employment, it's a question of the worth of the employment opportunity. You have to know what it worth. Like, you have to know what it's worth. All right. I'm in Nigeria. I stay in Abuja, Nigeria, Federal Capital Territory. And one day I got down, I was making a calculation of what it takes to have a living and a surviving wage. Like, what's the living salary and what's the surviving salary? All right. Like, you might look like, am I not saying the same thing? All right. All right. A surviving salary is just a salary for you to just get along, right? Just to get along, right? Why a living salary is a salary that sustains your existence. It sustains your existence. All right. What you don't want to do as a youth out there who just starting your career is that you don't want to waste your early 20 to 40s. You don't want to waste it. What does it mean to waste it? It doesn't matter that when you are from 20 to 40 or 45, 50 that you have a car, that's not what really matters. What matters is within your 20 to 50, how well prepared are you financially for your retirement? That's what is important here. And when you are taking your paid job, when you are taking that employment letter, you have to look at what is written on it. You have to look at the figure, the remuneration, the incentive there. Now, after taking your surviving allowance, like you're taking what it takes you to survive, get to office every day, like, do you really have anything left? And even if you do have something left, what you have left, is it something that if you eventually spend 20 years working in that particular organization, that particular firm, will you be an happy man in your 60s, in your 70s, in your 80s? You have to consider that. You have to consider that. Like when you are taking a paid job. And in most cases, but when you're making this decision, you have to make that decision not just based on your payroll. You have to also make that decision based on the payroll of those who have been ahead of you in that organization. So this, you see, finance is so delicate that the decision you make now affects more than just what happens to you now. It affects at long run as to what happens to you in your 100 years. God knows how long you are going to live. So if you are going to live that long, why don't you plan ahead for it? That is what we are talking about, and that is the conscious financial decisions. All right. I will tell you in another video on to how you plan for your retirement, how you plan for all that. I don't really preach save. If your saving is not equal to your investment, you are wasting your time, right? But that is not the video for today. That is not the topic for today, right? So discussions today is what should you spend your energy on, right? What should you spend your? I will tell you some job is better you stay at home without even going to work than having a job. In fact, some unemployed graduates out there, they're actually living fine than the employed ones, because what's the point? You anyway, career, you gather experience. Okay, with the experience you gather, maybe you can get a better job elsewhere, right? But the whole point is the time is not there, right? The time is not there, and the earlier you plan your financial prosperity, the better it is for you. The better it is for you. It's not like, see, I'm not asking you that if anybody is not paying you 5 million naira, you are not working for him. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that an average Nigerian staying in Abuja spends averagely 10,000 naira to feed on a daily basis, right? If you are raising a family, you should know what I'm talking about. You have to eat 10,000 naira on a daily basis. If as a person like this, if I want to eat out for the whole day, I'm definitely spending more than 10,000. If you to spend 10,000 eating me on a daily basis, that's already 300,000 naira a month, right? Estimate the cost of transportation from your to your place of work. Then try look at your housing expenses, and when you look at all of that, you have to look at how much your time worth in the organizations, and if it doesn't worth that much, it doesn't worth staying. You have to always understand that there's always one organization out there that is going to appreciate your worth, in as much as you never stop developing yourself, right? And that development starts from when you choose your career from the beginning. Don't forget, I've already speaking of one step, which is choosing your career path, right? You have to do your best to be relevant in your discipline. You have to do your best to be relevant in your discipline in terms of theoretical and skills. You have to be relevant. You own that to yourself. You own that to yourself. In fact, without that, there's nothing to bargain with in the first place in any organizations, right? And I'll tell you, it's better you can choose to be a volunteer in a firm. It's better you go to a firm and you start your career there as a volunteer than you go to a firm that pays you nothing, that pays you literally nothing, and you see that as if you're earning a salary. So it's very, very important that it's very important that as the youth out there, you have this understanding. You just have to have this understanding, because if you don't, trust me, it dictates, like, I don't want to say you will regret it. Okay, I don't want to say you will regret it, but I'm saying you just have to have this understanding. It is very, very important in making your next financial decisions, all right? So without being said, I don't want this video to be very, very lengthy, right? As I said earlier, this is just an introduction, right? It's an introduction. So for me not to make it so lengthy, so when you actually finally get your paid job, right, you have to understand that you have to be relevant in your field, right? You have to be relevant. Promotion doesn't just come. Promotion comes based on your skill level, your continuous relevance, and your attitude to work. Those are the three things that determine your promotion in your place of work. All right, that is the time your promotion in your place of work. So you have to keep these three things in check when you're making these decisions. But these are financial decisions. All right, many of you doesn't think they are, but they are financial decisions. All right, because these decisions potentially affect your next income flow. All right, and your next income flow have a long way in dictating your future financial position. So this is very, very important, right? This is very, very important, right? You have to get your act together. You have to get to your excellent culture. You have to understand to follow your time in all spaces. You have to understand the next thing for your company and how you make the company grow, because the company is not really growing, then I don't see how you grow financially yourself. You can't be a liability to a firm. You cannot be a liability to a firm, and a firm also cannot be a liability to you by not paying you enough. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's it. That on that, you have to relevant. You have to know the relevant certifications with your line of duty. All right. You have to have a long-term plans for yourself. Yeah, you have to put all this in check. All right. It's not just enough to just get to a firm and you start. It's just the enthusiastic of this Nigerian youth now. They study this particularly to Nigerians, as said by the past president. I don't know why I always forget that man's name. I think it's actually very, very funny. It's very, very, very funny. But all right, I forget again. Buhari, okay, President Muhammadu Buhari, that you can graduate from many university and you will still get a job. He's talking about we going to creating employment opportunity. Right, it's fine, fine. You can start a one-man business or whatever it is. But the whole point is small and medium scale enterprises is not going to promote the long-term growth that a country like Nigeria needs. All right, that's from an economic expert, and I'm telling you that you can take your time and think more on it. All right, it's more hardship and hardship and hardship and hardship for the people. That's what a small and medium scale enterprises it. And one of those people who really built the United States of America, we should give credit to people like JP Morgan, the Morgan Chase. Right, there's a lot of mergers and acquisitions that man was would he is spearheaded, and those firms that that merger and acquisition goes on there, most of them today they are top corporations in the rest of America that employs over 6,000 people yearly. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean over 6,000 people yearly. All right. I bet if there's any company in I don't know, don't let me talk. Don't let me talk. Let me put that. Let me swallow that. Okay. Let me swallow that. Let me swallow that. All right. So with what I've said so far, for you to get ahead financially, you have to first be intelligent in making your career decisions. Then you have to take your time to be relevant in your career. You have to take your time to be relevant in your career. All right, many people go to school and they just want to just graduate. Some of them don't even read to go to examination these days, right? They don't know that affect their financial position in the future. All right, it's very, very important. It's not even just for the grade, it's still for the knowledge. It's still for the knowledge. It's very, very important. You are reading so well and they are not giving you the grade you deserve. I've that experience more than once. All right. So, but the whole point is they can't take the knowledge from you. They can deny you of the haze, but they can't deny you of the knowledge. Do you understand what I'm saying? I've seen students just want to just beat the system, carry expo or whatever it is in Nigerian university, and it happens all over the world. And but that's not a good financial planning for yourself. All right, that's not a good financial planning for yourself. If you're a youth out there, you want to get along, you need somebody to give you some tips on how you go around to be a better student. Okay, fine. You can leave some comments. You can talk. You can pick it up there, right? And maybe you can have heart-to-heart conversation on that. Or maybe you are even struggling. You are giving all your best, but some people read actually, but you don't even remember. Maybe you can talk about that. But all right, fine. But now you have to understand that what you are doing as a student there affects your finances. You have to understand that. And another thing you have to understand is your environment, people you associate with affect your finances. All right, the friends you can keep friends, you can keep either an asset as a friend or you keep liability. Right, it affects your finances. All right, and most importantly, the issues of boyfriend and girlfriend also affect your finances in a way that is far beyond what you think. All right, and in these situations, girls are mostly more affected than the guys. Now when I say girls are more affected than the guys, somebody want to like beat me out of here. All right, but I know what I'm saying. Right, I know what I'm saying. Yeah, girls from 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, they get familiar with being given a handout. Like you had boyfriend, you just send some child, you send some cash, you take care of some responsibility for her, and you are what you're actually doing. You're actually cutting her financial consciousness without you knowing it. You are actually telling her to not work on towards taking financial decisions for herself. That's what you are telling her. And these things accumulate over the years, to the point that in most cases, when you see a job, when you get to a particular company that is paying below the salary that staff should be taking, like when they are paying even below the surviving salary, you see that particular firm, you will see more women there than men. In fact, in most cases, you won't even see a guy, you won't even see a single males there. You see most female there, because literally now they know that they just have to earn so that they have independence. So there's always going to be one man there to actually assist all through with the expenses and things like that. Do you understand? It is a wrong financial planning. It is a wrong financial plan, because you see, in most cases, more than 60 or 50% men that you see that are poor out there, They're actually poor because they have little or no assistance from their wife. Okay, they're actually poor because they have little or no assistance from their wife. Like, some of them have bad habits that we're gonna get to that. Definitely not this video. Okay, but the whole point of it is this. I'm not against having a boyfriend, having a girlfriend. You can't just wake up one day and you say you want to marry who you don't know. Can you? No, you can't. But you have to understand that all these decisions, they are also financial decisions. Like, is financial literacy goes beyond mere you managing your income and your expenses. It goes far beyond that. It goes far beyond that. And I will tell you, as a man and as a lady, there are decisions you make together. And that's, if you are out there and you don't have you're not into a serious relationship at all, then I don't think you'll even start your financial journey at all. In fact, let me put it to you: most men will not succeed, will not even get to anywhere in financial planning until their 40s, and that is simply because they marry late in their life. That it took them long, so long before the concept of responsibility gets into their mind. And two heads are always better than one, except when you choose wrongly. And that's why your choice is very, very important, because it affects your financial decisions. All right, I said to myself, I will make this video a 30-minute video. It's an introduction. All right, when you look at it, I'm not giving you statistics. I'm not giving you statistics. I could come here and start bombarding you with statistics. I could come here, yeah, like over 67% of America citizens as of 2024 PYMNTS intelligent survey, they live from paycheck to paycheck. I could tell you all that, but no, 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 no. Let's progress in understanding. Let's progress in understanding. All right. I want you to be at a level where financial prosperity is an easy access to you. That's what I want. All right, that's what I want. And when I say financial prosperity, because I'm a Christian out there, I'm a Christian, and a lot of Christian out there, you mean like I'm preaching gospel of mammonism? No, no, no. I'm not preaching the gospel of money, but I'm telling you that you have to take decisions that put you on a ladder of a progressive financial journey. You don't want to be begging at your 60, at your 70, at your 80. And the decision you make now determines that. All right? Determines that. All right? If you are already at 70, 80, and you don't have uh, any financial assets, you don't have anything at all financially, I don't see how I can help you. Okay? All right? In fact, you taking tone on my channel is like, on this channel rather, is like but if you are out there, you just trying to start your career, or even you even started, you just, it doesn't even matter, you plan it, maybe you are retiring even next year, but you're working right now. Trust me, you can still do a lot within 1 year. Just that it's that at a lot you are going to make a lot of sacrifice, but there's still a lot that could be done, right? You can message me personally, we can talk more on this, but this is just an introductory video, and I will love to call it an end here. Don't forget, ECOFIN, it's a team channel, and I'm the team leader. All right, that's by grace of God, right? It's not by anything, right? The great team leader. Soon you'll be seeing my colleagues out here. We are going to be enlightening you more, and we're going to be doing this. We're going to be enlightening you, and we are also going to be getting more enlightenment. So if you are there and you feel like this is something that you can do, you want to be part of this team, maybe in the research section, or maybe even in the graphics, I think at the moment we even need somebody who is very fast in graphics design and so and the likes like that. So if you're out there and